Good evening. My name is Maria Peregrina. I go by Lupita, and I'm going to be discussing my SAFMID's journey through this course. So, as we can see here, my baseline started for the first deck, A cell of 0, D cell of 6. Pretty normal for a baseline, as I did not know much about technical supervision terms. And as you can see here, I have an upwards trend for my A cell for my first deck, and my D cell is no trend. That seems pretty normal. As you can see on this graph here, most of my deck 1, deck 2, and deck 3, most of my data points are upwards trend and pretty low variability, as most of them are pretty close to the line, versus my D cell, it's kind of scattered all over the place, moderate high variability, as you can see here. So we talked about deck 1, and then looking at my raw data here, same thing for my deck 2. Pretty consistent upwards trend, D cell as well, all over the place. And then deck 3, so far I'm at an upwards trend and no trend for my D cell. This is pretty, again, this is pretty common, as some weeks I, understood some terms, but other weeks I was unable to get the correct answer. Although I have no trend in most of my D cells, I kept the range between 0 and 5. 5 seems to be skewing my data, as it normally seems to be from 0 to 3. And then for my fluency, let's see, I've actually been able to keep around 17. The average is around 17. So my lowest tends to be, I also went up to 19 one day. Don't even remember that. But as I've been studying, I've noticed I've had a lot of averaging around 17. So again, my range is between 14 and I would say 18. Good. Okay. And then for my SAFMIDs, I was using an interval timer, 30-second test, and then 45-second rest break. And then in between the rest, I would review my D cell pile, and then I would shuffle it back. This was for skill acquisition. And then for maintenance, I did 30-second test and then 1-minute break. This was giving me enough time to be able to shuffle the cards back into my deck. This works really well for me, as I have a system going, and I do this repeatedly for like 5 to 10 times, depending on how I feel with the deck. And I normally studied my skill acquisition deck at night, and then my maintenance fluency normally in the morning. This would help me, be able to think about one deck versus thinking about the other. And in terms of my goals, so my goals were to study 2 hours consistently throughout the week for my exam, and then create group studies, like study groups. I would say that I haven't met the 2-hour consistently. I think it depends on the week. Sometimes a day, like daily, I'll study like 45 minutes or an hour. I've been really busy with work, so something is better than nothing. But like this past weekend, I was able to spend a whole day studying for the exam. And in terms of study groups, I have done this with some of my coworkers at my job. A lot of them are also on the same national route, although they're not in the same class and we're not in the same time frame. We still are all studying based off of what we've learned. So yeah, overall, I think I'm doing really well with my SAFMIDs, and I'm going to continue this if I need it for the next class. Thank you.